Here we are, back at it with another one. Back in voice-only ghost mode.
Mm-hmm. You don't get to see us.
The Friend Simulator podcast. I'm
We
Borley
back.
Boylston. Yep.
And I'm Fontleroy.
Mm-hmm. And, I don't know.
I feel like there wasn't as much blowback from the last episode.
Well, I
was
did.
expecting.
You're expecting
Well,
some...
maybe you heard more than I did, but
Nobody... See, that's the thing. Okay. Yeah, we can get into that. So,
yeah.
my whole life, nobody ever expresses their disapproval with my behavior. Why does that make you laugh? What?
I don't know. It's just like no one's ever told you like they're unhappy with the way that you act. Like ever?
I mean, that's not true, but like it's a minuscule amount of times. It's like people are afraid to like confront me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, which is ironic. I mean, this actually happened in my WoW Private Server General experience. I actually have a copy pasta about this. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, so basically, way back in the day, I was playing WoW Private Server General, and I was a part of a crew that was basically shitposting the guild that we were in. And so I would stream the game, and then I would post my stream to the WoW Private Server General thread. And so this is kind of, almost like kind of forbidden behavior, because one of the unwritten rules about 4chan is not individualizing yourself, right?
Okay.
Especially at least in general threads, because these people are, they call them name F slurs. You're trying.
Got it.
Yep.
Yep.
When you have like the little like user ID thing, trip code,
Yeah.
I didn't have
F-slurring.
anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that much. I don't care. But I do want to stream the
Not
game
publicly, like on 4chan or whatever.
Yeah, but I do want to stream the game, and I want to like talk some shit because it's fun. Because it's WoW Private Server General. Everyone sucks.
Right.
And there's like Eastern Euros, and there's like people who are mentally ill. So it's like that kind of shit, right? So I would be streaming the game, and I would be playing with my friend Tide and then some other NA people. And we would be shit posting. The people were shit posting, I think, Sessa, and there was a guy named Incline. Incline was a guy who said he had a girlfriend. He was terrible at the game, and he would constantly talk about how he was getting, quote, creamed in the thread. So... Now, mind you, this is less gay than the NA 10-man, I think, guild leader at the time, which I think was Matitude. And he is somebody who was a resto shaman who had a weak aura that showed a picture of Jesus every time Riptide was off cooldown. And he told a story about wanting to suck dick, which I have somebody, I can't even believe, it's amazing the people that will come out of the fucking woodwork to like send me ancient lore memes. Let me find this guy. It's in my Discord DMs.
Like someone else sent you the lore?
Yeah.
For this
No,
guy?
I know I was there, but
Okay.
I don't have the screenshot. So this guy who I'm in 3 mutual servers with, who I haven't ever seen fucking chat, but when I asked for this picture, he fucking DMs it to me at 1:17 a.m. on
awesome.
8/27, 2019. So here's the let me open it. Let me open it in browser because I can bring it on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jamie, pull that up.
yeah, Jamie, pull that up. Thank you. You're producing in real time. My mouse just disappeared and I can't see it anywhere. Okay,
Jamie, find your mouse.
Thank you.
And then
okay.
pull that up.
This is so much. I need 3 monitors. Every time this happens, I need 3
Oh,
monitors.
for streaming, you always... I mean, I have seen streamers and they do have 3 set up. I feel like that's just the minimum you need.
Okay, I'm bringing it over now. Let me remove my bookmarks bar. Okay, there we go. So I gotta zoom, Jamie, what is it? Okay, I don't know what the fuck's happening. So let me zoom in a little bit so we can read it. So now I'm gonna read it out loud. Oh, let me send the image to you so that you can also read it, because this is like insanity. Copy image.
Pasta image.
Okay. Actually, why don't you read the message.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
So we have Matitude, who is a shaman, denoted from the blue text on his name.
Yep.
I wanted to suck his dick, but I chickened out. Then he sucked my dick. And I kept looking at his shadow on the wall and pretending it was a girl. Oh boy. Then he made me suck his nipple while he jerked. What the? Then he made me suck his nipple while he jerked off. And he came. And I left.
Bro job. Wanted to suck his dick.
Suck his dick.
Oh yeah, infection was there. Linfection. This is it. These are the stories I want. Pretended it was a girl. Wanted to suck dick.
So, like, is he trying to have some kind of like plausible deniability? I don't know. Plausible, heterosexuality? Is that like?
I think he just he
girl?
He's yeah he was
You know?
he's gay. But he doesn't want it to be completely gay, so he's like, I gotta trick myself that it's a girl, but I'm also just gay as hell, and I chickened out. So he's just experimenting with his sexuality. So this was the guy who led up. Yeah. I mean, but mind you, this is 4chan, and people are weird.
Yeah. Yes.
He also
absolutely.
he also one time Matitude got in a lengthy philosophical debate with one of our current players, Greg. I don't think that's his real name. He is from Wisconsin though.
Oh damn.
But he moved to Texas, so he's
no
longer.
Need a turncoat.
Yeah, exactly. And he got a long philosophical debate, and I think it was so funny. I kept like baiting more about it, but basically, Matitude's argument was like, you know that anime phrase where it's just like fun things are fun, and like bad things are bad, and it's like
it's an anime.
It's just there's like some anime quote where it's like, oh, fun things are fun. And like just like it's just a tautology, you know? And you're just saying a thing is what it is, but you're not defining that thing ever. And this argument went on in text for like 30 minutes to like an hour.
What are they arguing?
Well, Matitude is just saying like, oh, bad things are bad. He's like, okay, but how do you know what something is bad? And a bad thing is something that isn't good. And it was just like getting into the most like recursive, circular, stupid arguments that I'm just like, why are you getting baited by this fucking regard? Yeah, kinda. I mean, you never know who's trolling and who's just sincerely regarded when it comes to like 4chan. So
yeah, that's what I say on Dota all the time. I'm like, I don't know if he's trolling or fucking stupid. I don't know which is worse, to be honest.
Yeah, it's that's the problem, right? So anyway, I was looking for something. I should try to go find that. But anyway, basically, they kicked me and my ilk out of the guild briefly. Because I was talking so much shit about how they were doing the fights, how they were raid leading. Now, mind you, I never brought any of this drama into the guild per se. I don't think I brought any of it into the thread. But, you know, we're just sitting there like, oh, we're doing the fight dumb, you should do it this way. Or just like, you know, it's like we're not going into their like fucking, I think we used like a ventrilo to go talk shit, but it was just like you could come and listen and hear us talking shit, you know. And I found out later on that like Tide was like a teenager at the time. I think I was the only person who wasn't like fucking underage, because like of course everyone's like either Eastern European, aka poor, or they're like underage kids in America. And then there's like me, who's like the oldest one, probably at like fucking 21 or 22, you know. Yeah. I was around that, I think. Maybe 23, I forget. I need to search someone to use.
So how did you... so there was a thread on 4chan that they would all post in.
Yeah, it's the WoW private server general thread. So like, I don't know if you know, but like there's video game, and there's the video games, right? But then there's video game general. Yep. So what video game general is...
Because it's V and VG.
Yeah, and VG...
V is for video games, VG is general.
VG is for like, you have a specific thread that lingers that is about one game. So it's like... Got it. It's about like a specific game. So they have one for like Honkai Star Rail, they have one for like Path of Exile 2. And if a game isn't popular, then it will go to like a genre. So they have like cooperative games or whatever. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing.
Got it.
I don't know if I can find the thing. But basically,
4chan is very uniquely kind of categorized and sorted in that way, where it's like all, you know, done by community. It's not like
Yeah.
Reddit where it's like you have a whole Reddit page or whatever for a thing. It's like you just gotta. It's either people are all talking about random shit in V, or you go to VG and find a specific thread for it. You know.
Yeah, VG. It's kind of funny because like 4chan differentiates itself from Reddit because like for 4chan, it's not like a constant push to create new shit, whereas like Reddit, the constant drive to like have new shit necessitates the like repost basically. You know, because like, oh, that was popular.
Which is funny.
Yeah, right. But like on 4chan, it's like what would be a repost on Reddit becomes a like canon, like either memes or fucking just like information for that thing. So like,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like on the 2D, I you know what? Don't ask why I know, but on the 2D hentai general, there are certain. I've heard Barley informed me about it. He's kind of a weirdo.
Yeah, kind of a creep.
Barley informed me that there are certain characters where it's like if you don't recognize what character this character, like what game the character's from, they're not even going to tell you. Like you need to lurk more.
Oh, funny.
You know, the classic lurk more. You need to spend more time in our threads
lurk more,
so you can figure out who this character is. And then and then some of the canon characters, you know, in these generals, they make blobs out of them. And that's like a thing where it's like if a game is like so good or it like stands the test of time, aka like they talk about it for longer than like a week, then they're like, oh, that character's never gonna blob, and then they'll post like oh my god, she blobbed, whatever the fuck that means.
What is like
blobbed?
I could assume
it's literally just like taking their face and making like an ooze blob version of it where they're like big, wide, and stupid looking, and then that's literally it. They're just like, oh my god, they blobbed.
It's such a like a club. Like it's total club mentality.
Yeah, like you need to know the secret lingo.
Yeah.
You need to know the secret lingo, the secret handshake. You need to know all that shit.
It's so crazy that still exists, man. I haven't been on 4chan in like eons.
I don't know. I have a hard time like I'll scroll through V sometimes because it's kind of funny. Like if there's like a specific thing going on, I'll like go on for that. Like when Factorio Space Age came out, I would go on not on the VG threads, but on the V threads, because on the V threads, that's where you get the most like just dumbest morons imaginable.
Yeah.
So like I would go to those threads and I would like read what they're saying about the expansion, and I would see their factories, and I would be like, man, if you ever need a confidence booster, go look at what these fucking morons are saying and are struggling with. And you will be like, wow, I am the smartest and greatest Factorio player of all time. You know, it's basically like that. So it's a little bit of a confidence booster, but it's also just funny to like watch people struggle.
Right.
And then like post like...
Give the rationale to why they're stupid.
Yeah, like it's amazing when you have something where it's like somebody says a bunch of shit. It's a classic case of like somebody's like, this expansion fucking sucks. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, post your factory. Yeah. Oh, okay, here it is. Instantly torn apart by wolves.
Yeah.
You know, the wolves are coming. They're out. Their fangs are sharp, and they just rip this guy's ass apart. And he stands no chance.
And fuck him.
Yeah. But yeah, back to finish up the WoW private server general story. Basically, so we got kicked out, and then I was walking around Dalaran playing Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On," and I titled the stream "My Shuck." This is on. It was, what was, like fucking Box? Some weird streaming service that wasn't Twitch.
It wasn't Justin TV. It wasn't Proto Twitch.
No, it wasn't even that. It was some fucking. It was like Proto fucking like Rumble or some shit. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
And I named the stream "My Shrek Will Go On," and somebody posted in the WoW private server general basically like a sum up of like, Borlina, that was me. That was my character at the time. I played a Disc Priest. Like, Borlina wanted to talk with them and discuss things in voice, but the Shrek officers were too afraid of their prepubescent voices peeking on the mic, and they wanted to have a conversation in text. And so because of that, they just decided to kick him instead because they were too afraid to have an actual conversation.
Coward.
And all that stuff. It was so funny. So like when I got invited to like the next like Shrek server that we had, because we had like another one that was run by somebody who was like fucking dead or some shit. And then I asked about, like, somebody was like, oh, Berlina's here, and they immediately just posted that image from the 4chan thing, which was like about like it just makes everyone like, well, at least Sessa, because I don't think Infection was the leader, but Sessa was one of the officers, and it's just kind of funny that like that was like the history or whatever. But I don't know, we all get along now, or at least I mean everyone likes Sessa. Was one of my most ardent proponents when I wasn't even in the server, because people would be mad because I would make like fart posts, and I would just like type out brat and whispers to people, and boy, farts make people pissed. People hate farts.
Why do they hate farts?
They hate fun. Farts are funny.
That's true.
You know?
Just as fun as fun. Farts is funny.
Farts is fun. Yeah. So like, that would be it. And I remember there was one interaction where like, Sessa was like, oh my god, he's legit like so funny, and then somebody would be like, oh yeah, haha, guys fart, and then he'd be like, yeah, it's 2 years later, we're still talking about it.
Right.
You know, it's like you can say what you want, but you're still talking about me. Like I can see the Discord history.
Yeah.
You know? So that was always funny. But
infamy is a type of fame too.
Yeah, right. I was infamous for being a brap lord.
Brapist.
You know, I'm not into farts in a fetishistic way. I should make that clear. But
nope, just funny.
Yeah, it's just funny. You know, King Ass Ripper Nuclear Fart.wmv.
Oh yeah, so kill a chicken.
Hard dresser for me to fart on.
Didn't he fart on his dog?
Yeah, he doesn't announce it, but he walks by the dog, farts on the dog, and the dog is so depressed and walks away. I've never seen an animal's soul leave its body harder than that dog.
Oh my god. Yeah, the poor thing's gotta live with King Ass Ripper.
It's true.
Okay, so it was. So we're talking about famous flashless on YouTube, in case you didn't catch.
Yeah, King Ass Ripper /
segue. Harry and Gross. Were they both the same?
Yes.
Okay, so they both were the same dude.
Yeah.
Got it. I was kind of confused about that. I was like, I always forget if they're. I thought they were the same guy, but then it's like, I don't know. It could be just two.
I mean, he does
weirdos.
Change a little bit over the time, and he's a very reclusive person.
He is. I mean, he hasn't posted in quite some time, I'd imagine.
To my
like everything we have is like re-uploads, right?
Yeah, it's like ancient re-uploads. They're constantly get taken down by the anti-fart armada. Like, just fuck those people. We hate them.
By Big Brap.
Yeah. Man, there was a car by Big Brapfa. Big Brapfa is trying to take him down because they don't want indie brappers to make it, you know? They
want their monopoly.
They want their Hollywood movies to be filled with those canned shitty ass farts, and they don't want anything amazing, truly powerful. Oh my god, excuse me. Like King Ass Ripper's farts, those are amazing. Man,
it's an art form that goes back to kings. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's the car, I don't even know, like, I have so at my job we got vehicles that the company owns because I have to drive around a lot, right? And the vehicle that I have signed up for the whole week, when I brake, I would describe it as sounds like a lion chewing thunder.
A lion chewing thunder.
Yeah.
So it's like a staccato kind of type thing.
It's you know, that's good. Yeah, it just. Imagine some thunder, like some low, like rumbling thunder, but then like a lion is chewing on it, you know?
I mean,
it's insane.
You're telling me the same thing. I'm having a hard time.
Just fill in your mind's eye.
On thunder.
Yeah, well, that's how it sounds. That's how it sounds. Because it's insane. I'm surprised people don't look over at the car. It sounds insane. So it's like I don't want. So like this vehicle didn't even start. The vehicle didn't even start up. The battery was dead on Monday, right? And then it's like, okay, now it sounds like the brakes sound like a lion chewing thunder, and it's like I have to drive this vehicle the whole week. So it's like, do I tell someone that the brakes sound like a lion chewing thunder, or do I keep driving it and pray to God that it's like not metal on metal, that it's like just scraping the vehicle apart?
I mean, why wouldn't you just at least tell someone, be like, hey, I got this car, it's kind of fucked up.
Because then I'm gonna have to drive the fucking van, And maybe the van's not even available, or I gotta drive my own vehicle, or just more shit to do. So, and maybe it's...
I mean, I guess.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. And also, it's not... the last person that drove it left their beef stick in the vehicle for like 3 weeks, because nobody drove it for like 3 weeks over the holiday break. And that person broke the vehicle, and that said nothing. So I feel like it's someone else's responsibility. So I'm getting that, like, diffusion of responsibility. Other people drove it before me. Why does it fall on me? I already dealt with the
But it's not
battery.
like you're gonna get blamed for it becoming lion chewing thunder.
I didn't bring the lion into the manger. He's chewing on baby Jesus. You do raise a good point, but I'll tell someone after. Well, the earliest I'll be able to tell
You're
it.
done with it. If you don't get into a car crash.
Get into a car crash and die. Oh god, I think there's something wrong with the brakes. After I slide off the road and die.
My car. Well, I just have to change the brakes. I think it's at the. Because, like, you know how brakes work, right? Where, like, it gets
It's
to
like a
part
brake
where
pad
there's,
and then it starts
metal.
squeaking. Yeah, it's like there's like a little like warning screech.
Yeah.
This isn't a warning screech. This is like I said, it sounds like a lion
It's a
chewing
lion
thunder.
chewing thunder.
Yeah. So that's why I don't know if it's the brakes. I don't know what's going on.
Why don't you just call up the mechanic and say, excuse me, my brakes have gone LCT.
LCT, lion chewing thunder. That should be a new designation at like auto body shops. Fucking like survey brakes are going LCT. Oh shit, we'll send a guy out stat. We got an LCT out in the wild. Holy shit.
we haven't seen this until now, but it's a pretty prolific occurrence now. We're really concerned.
Yeah, it keeps happening. Lions are chewing thunder on our brakes. My god, I hope that doesn't happen to me.
Too late. It is happening to you.
No. Well, I don't know what else. I mean, I do have some other stuff, but I think we have a story from Fontleroy that we've been cooking about. How you feeling?
Yeah. Did you want to go into that one?
Yeah, sure. So
okay.
So Fontleroy has told me that this is a story about a Chinese girl.
She's
specifically Chinese girl story. That's what it's called.
You're already fucking it up.
I already fucked it up, so he's got to correct me. Okay, Fontleroy, have him.
The record straight.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from.
Set the lion straight.
This is from 2 pods ago now. We left off. I forgot how did we even get there?
It was like at the end of something, and we were just like looking for things to talk about, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I have this experience," and then you were like, "Oh, how long are we?" And it was like an hour and 20 minutes already.
It was getting long, yeah.
So yeah, like, oh, we'll do it on the next one.
I guess I filed this one under. Oh, I remember. I think it was because you said Fowler did everything right.
Oh,
I think we were talking about my favorite Trump line.
Yeah, and it led into that. So this is a situation where you did everything right. You're saying
this is a situation. Kind of in the same way that Trump did everything right.
Oh, okay. No. Now I'm more interested. I like this.
No.
And she indicted you? The Chinese government indicted you.
And then President Xi indicted me. If you. The forever president.
Because they wanted to bring you over to China because you were so valuable.
They thought I would be a very great asset. Yeah.
You encapsulated the Chinese communist spirit.
Yes, they saw my work with one of their compatriots who saved me in Sea of Thieves, and they're like, okay, this is a prime sympathizer. We need this man on our side.
Honorary Chinese citizen, get over there. You're getting in the labor camp.
And I'm yep. They put me in the factories that have the nets outside.
The nets in them and everything. You tried to commit suicide and everything.
Yeah, I tried jumping out and I got caught by the net and. I think like I saw stories where they would have to like it's kind of like the black offices or black businesses in Japan.
Businesses where it's like you're like a failure if you're there or something or whatever, or what is it? I've heard of this term, but I don't quite remember.
So the black in Japan, black companies are like you pretty much live there. Like if you leave, you're a fucking loser.
Oh, it's like you work all day. It's like you're a super salary man.
They work you to the bone. Like you have to sleep there. You basically live in the office. They have this culture where like you like sleep at your desk. You know.
God.
I've seen the things where in China they have that, but it's for like the slave labor basically.
Oh jeez.
Like,
well, at least they call it what it is.
They're just sleeping. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is like. Because wasn't that was what they were doing with the Uyghurs? I think that was part
Probably.
of the Uyghur
You know, I
genocide.
never
Was
bothered. You know, my engagement with Uyghur genocide never rose above. It sounds like Uyghur.
oh,
You know, I
absolutely.
literally never bothered to learn anything about it, care at all. All I ever saw was it was something Hassan would talk about, and
Oh, I'm
that was
sure.
like peak when he was like becoming irrelevantly stupid, at least in my
Mm,
eyes. So I
mhm.
was like, I just did not care at all because like it's important to care about atrocities going on in the world, but to care about atrocities going on in the world to the detriment of like I think your domestic politics is very how do I say this
Counterintuitive.
very well, yeah, it's counterintuitive,
Counterproductive.
it's counterintuitive, counterproductive, and it's a very privileged position to have because it means that
Okay,
you can
yeah.
hold a
Right.
position where you are going to
Right.
negatively impact your domestic policy for the purposes of caring about something broader because well it's easy for Hassan or anyone who's rich because they're insulated from any of the negative ramifications from that, you know, like just look at, you know, people who sat out voting for like Kamala Harris over Palestine. You are
Mm.
negatively impacting domestic policy for the purposes of idealistically, you know, voting with your conscience regarding people that aren't even American citizens. That isn't even our responsibility regarding what happens to these people. And like you can argue that like, oh my God, America's selling weapons to Israel and America isn't controlling Israel, blah blah blah, all this kind of shit, right? You know, there's an argument to be made there. But at the end of the
Yeah, but
day,
the fucking alternative ain't gonna do
yeah,
much
yeah,
better.
obviously, I mean, yeah, allowing Trump in is just going to be like, okay, if you were concerned about a genocide in Gaza, now you're going to get a genocide in Gaza
Well,
with
you're gonna
Trump
get
in power.
genocide at home too,
Yeah, yeah,
probably.
right. You know, he wants to deport people, so it's like,
Well, did you see they
yeah.
passed that bill? Do you see about that at all?
Which one?
There's a bill. I haven't looked too much into it because it just happened. I think today or yesterday. They passed a bill to start deporting, quote unquote, deporting illegal immigrants.
Oh, there was something that was like allowed them to deport something under some.
Yeah,
Was
I
that
need to
wait?
see the
Was this the one
this.
about sex offenders? Was that a new
I don't.
one?
I
I
mean,
saw a
I
post on
didn't.
Our Conservative about this,
I
but I
didn't
didn't
see
know if that
anything
was
about
like a
sex
recent
offenders. I
bill.
just know it was like
I s-
basically giving them not carte blanche, but it was to deport immigrants, maybe illegal immigrants.
I think the only thing that I saw recently was on the conservative subreddit. It said, "This is proof Democrats are evil," and it was a post. It was a House vote where 50 Democrats voted for it,
Hmm.
and like 100 and whatever didn't, and then obviously most of the Republicans did. And it was a bill to allow the government to deport illegal immigrants in instances where they had committed like a sexual crime, essentially.
Okay.
So, but I don't know, like the conservative subreddit will like exhume random shit from decades ago. So I don't
See,
know if
because
that
I'm
was like a
seeing
recent one.
like, yeah, it's this is just headline stuff, but I'm seeing like with minor crimes.
Minor crime. I mean, they've been always
Passes
been.
bill to deport unauthorized immigrants charged with minor crimes.
That's
That's like the
interesting.
wording that I've seen.
That's so minor crimes.
So
What
it's
about a
like
minor
very,
crime? Then?
very broad. I haven't looked into it, but it's precedent. You know, that's kind of where, well, promises made, promises kept.
Charged
God
with
bless them.
undocumented with minor. Yeah, yeah. Maybe
Like,
this
what
was the same
is?
thing, but it was
I
like
think it's the same thing,
this
but
is
they're probably
non-violent. It might have been worded differently because I just looked at like the post. And I didn't actually look at the image.
But like I said, I didn't look too much into it myself, so I'm perpetuating the thing that I meme on people for doing, where it's like just looking at headlines and not looking too deeply into it. But
This is such an interesting kind of thing because it's like, okay, so if you, it's once again, it's another instance where Republican policy does not stand up to like 5 seconds of like logical thinking.
like real life, yeah,
Yeah, because like, okay, let's
yeah,
think through this, right? So the bill is,
yeah.
we're,
Was what is the actual wording on the
yeah,
bill?
well, okay, so first off, it obviously has to be challenged if the wording isn't perfectly clear. But
Hmm.
then we have the problem of, okay, so we have an undocumented citizen or whatever. I guess that kind of
Unauthorized, it says. Not even no one.
unauthorized. You know, the other page I saw said undocumented, so
Got it.
we'll go with
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the traditional nomenclature.
yeah.
So we have an undocumented person and they commit a minor offense. Okay, so we have to win a court case against them, presumably have them sent to jail or prison for such illegal activity.
Detained.
And so we've already spent $50K from, illegal expenses to deal with this person and incarcerate them. Let's say they spend 5 years in prison, right? And then we're going to be like, okay, on the off chance, because this is obviously in response to some fucking undocumented person, they committed a crime and then they killed somebody, and oh my God, so now we have to deport every single person that's ever had a speeding violation, right? This is what it comes down to.
Right.
So now we're gonna
we're jaywalking.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. They jaywalked in front of an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now we're gonna spend millions of dollars deporting this person, because I'm pretty sure, how much does it cost to deport a single person, right? Cost?
That's a good question. I guess I don't care about that kind of stuff, so I never.
Well, because it comes down. It always comes down to money. This is an insanely expensive.
Well, see, it would be cheap. That's why we just don't give them any legal protection and just get rid of them.
Yeah, but that's the ironic thing of this bill, is that if it gives them, we have to go through all these things. We always have to
go through the actual process.
Deport someone. Yeah. That's why they just want
Yeah,
okay, let's see.
Then they can just make the argument oh my God, this is gonna cost so much money. Let's just get rid of them.
Let's see if
I'm being facetious, obviously, but I could see some fucking idiot thinking that's the next logical step.
I remember. Okay, so this random article, I remember reading something a while ago. This is, I think I've said this before. I've seen this before, but basically, if we deported every person or whatever, it would cost almost $1 trillion over a decade, is how much it would cost. And that's not even to consider the impacts on the cost of labor, which would skyrocket, or the impacts on the cost of goods, the impact on the housing market, the impact, any sector that any undocumented person is working in is going to fucking explode in cost. And we're also going to just be losing out, because undocumented people pay into federal programs that they don't even get access to. If a company isn't completely paying under the table, and they're still paying payroll taxes, which is Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, that kind of shit, or state taxes, or federal taxes, because unless they are doing complete withholdings for this person, which I doubt a company is, because then they're really going to get fucked. Undocumented workers pay more in than they take out. I don't know. It's just, once again, Republicans are just slurred morons that have no basis in reality. And, but they're trying to set up the most expensive process imaginable to deport people, so they can do it under some moral guise of we need to get these criminals out of here because one in 300,000 killed somebody, and it's
it's just all distraction politics.
It really is
the same fucking playbook as the Nazis did. Just people always oh, Nazi shit, but it's it's literally what the Jews were, just this dumb scapegoat. It's the same exact thing.
I have to. This is Barley talking, okay?
Yeah.
I would not say this, but Barley would say this, and we're going to allow him to speak a little bit. But we condemn what Barley says, okay? Mm-hmm. I have to give the Nazis credit, because at least they picked a target that had something worth taking.
Oh, because I see what you're saying.
Because the Jews had resources that the Nazis considered to be withheld or holding back the government from winning World War I. There's this stabbed in the back kind of mentality regarding the Jewish population in World War I that they believe held back, Germany from winning. And this time they weren't going to let them do that.
I don't know that whole history.
That's what my history teacher would say. I don't remember it entirely, but I'm going to defer to him, because he was a pretty.
Okay, well, we're gonna get him on the podcast.
We'll get him. I'll go reach out to Christopher Stone and see if he wants to come on the podcast and talk to me.
That's gonna be our next big interview.
I hated history in high school, but I tried. Oh no, is my headset dying? I've had it plugged in charging. How the fuck is it dying? Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Anyway, start talking. I need to go get the fucking battery pack.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess I could, well, I had a couple things I wanted to talk about. Ooh, I'll talk. Okay, so, I would implore all of you right now to look up, interviews that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, I think that's how you say her name,
What the hell is it?
have been doing, for the
Oh my
press
god.
junket
I'm back,
on,
but I can't hear anything. I have to plug the thing. Oh my
on
god.
Wicked. Shut up, no one's asking you.
Okay.
Are doing for Wicked because it is the most disingenuine acting I've ever seen in my life, and I'm here for it. I think it's hilarious. Part of me
Plugged
thinks
in.
that
I have two fucking cables. Oh my god, they're wrapped
hey,
up.
calm down. Part of me thinks that it's like, especially on
Okay, I'm back.
from
what story were you
Grande.
telling,
Hey,
Fontleroy? Was it
shut
good?
up! I'm talking to my friends. Especially
Oh god, now I
from,
can't even hear you.
oh my god.
What's
Especially
happening? This podcast is a disaster.
Especially from
Oh my god, why can't I hear
I'm
anything?
talking to my friends. Calm down.
Oh, you're talking to your friends.
So, so from Grande, cause like, okay, there's two interviews. I'll point to. One was
Why is it beeping?
like with, I'll have to find. I mean,
does
I
that
saw like a
mean?
short of it, but it was basically like these two theater nerds, I guess, interviewing her on like some shitty podcast. And anytime she
beeped
opened her
again.
mouth, they're like laughing, like it's the funniest thing they ever heard in their entire life. Like anything she said, it was actually a pretty decent story. I mean, she was talking about how during the scene in the song Emerald City, where it ends with the wizard will see you now. Originally, what Jonathan Chu, I think the director's name is, originally what he was gonna do
Why is it what is
was
happening?
have someone say, I think it's like one of the lines in the original
Should
where
I
it's like,
change the output?
what do you want kind of thing or something. Basically, they weren't gonna end with the wizard will see you
Oh,
now,
it's
which,
Bluetooth.
you know, if you've ever seen Wicked, it's a very iconic moment. It's something that would make you, it would be jarring if it were left out, because it's part of the song. It's not even like a, you know, kind of like a throwaway line or anything. So Ariana Grande was talking about how she read through the script and saw that, and then called Cynthia. And
I can't even
she's
hear
like,
this. Wait a
she's
minute.
like, Cynthia,
What
have
the
you shut up? She
Oh.
said, Cynthia, have you seen the script? And then to which Cynthia says, I'm getting there.
Wait.
which reads to me as no. just no.
Wait, you were actually talking to me the whole time?
No, I'm talking to my friends.
Oh my
you
god.
keep interrupting with your
No, I can't.
inane
My.
complaints about your mic or whatever.
Oh my god.
And I'm quite frankly, to quote King Joe,
I couldn't hear any-
KFS, I'm fucking sick of it.
I couldn't hear anything. I have no idea what happened to the headset.
I was monologue anyways, like you asked me to.
Oh my god.
So
Like the headset.
so
kept...
she called up Cynthia, and it's like, have you read this? And she's like, no, oh my god, I didn't get to it. But the whole time she's telling the story, like I said, any pause she takes, these guys are like making the face of like laughing their asses off, like it's the funniest thing. And she didn't even get to the punchline at all. You know, it's throughout every 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds. I mean, it wasn't a very long clip. These guys are just laughing like it's the funniest thing they ever heard. Sycophants. It's sycophantic behavior, and I hate it. Then on the other end of the spectrum, when she's doing interviews for like, you know, big media outlets or whatever, it is just they're just the most disingenuine thing I've ever seen in my life. And I kind of empathize or sympathize with Grande, because a little bit of projection, but like, I mean, I wouldn't take them seriously at all. So like, why not just ham it up and just be fucking disingenuous? You know, like someone will say like, oh my god, yeah, when Cynthia started singing Defying Gravity, oh, I got chills. And then Grande, like, she'll grab Cynthia's hand and be like, no, oh my god, oh. Just so over the top. Anyways, I mean, I'm pretty much. Are you still here? Are you figuring out your mic situation?
I had to
or-
unplug the headset because it literally was not producing any sound. So I
Okay.
could not hear, and that did not. Because I think when I had it plugged in, like no sound was coming out, so I have no idea if OBS was even recording half of that. When I say
What
half of that,
I
I mean
said?
half your story.
Oh, good God! If that's the case, I am actually uninstalling.
I don't know if I mean it's. Oh wait a minute. Oh, because window. Wait, why is window? Wait, say something.
Hello?
Say something again.
Something again.
It looks like for. Oh my god. Okay, I just need to. Okay, there we go. I'll just do that. Everything's fine. Okay, so you told your
Yeah, it just sounds
amazing
really loud to me.
alphabet story. Everyone laughed. I threw my headset out the window and I killed a small deer.
Oh, are we on now?
Yeah.
Is this okay? Hello, welcome back.
I'll just.
And we're back.
we're black.
And we're black.
Okay, so should we finally get into whatever the fuck we were starting to get into before everything exploded?
Well, I feel like we jumped so many.
We got so far removed from
got so
the Chinese
sidetracked
speaking
from what
white
you,
girl story.
From the girl who went to China, who could speak Chinese, was not Chinese.
Darn.
Was
So everything that we talked
full-fledged
about
American.
was a lie.
Yep.
I can't believe it.
I think everything we talk about is a lie. I think everything that we said in the podcast last week was all made up.
Oh, the In the Flesh podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything I said was a lie.
Yeah,
And
everything.
none of it was true. And I didn't have to edit out like 8 minutes of me talking about wanting to commit some type of like Second Amendment violence. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
definitely
never
did not
a part of the
happen.
conversation.
No. No, you're fucking crazy if you think that was mentioned at all.
Yeah, and if that was mentioned, that was a Barley segment.
No, it was definitely Barley came in, tied up Borley, and said those things, and then, but it was all, that classic video. Like I think I've seen it in like every psych class that I've had to take or whatever. Where
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, yeah.
You know exactly what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's
there's
like
the dribbling.
Yep.
There's a
Like
bunch
the
of people
are
follow
dribbling
the
balls
ball.
or whatever, and then a
Count
gorilla
how many
walks
passes
by.
they make.
Yeah, yeah. Then the gorilla walks by, and whatever, and it's like, oh, look at, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
The
it was
gorilla
like that,
comes
where
out.
you thought that it was Borley the whole time, but you just got so distracted by what was going on the screen,
Yeah, the
because you're not
ridiculous
used
story.
to seeing us,
Yeah. So they didn't
So-
see when Barley came
Barley
in,
came,
hog-tied me.
Yeah.
And you were there.
I was there and I didn't even see it happening.
didn't
I was
even
trying to
see
count
it
the
happen.
dribbling.
You were doing so much dribble. Yeah, exactly.
I was counting all the dribbles.
Exactly.
I was counting how much the saliva was dribbling out of my mouth. 'Cause I'm a mouth-breathing arster.
Yep.
Okay, so before we got sidetracked on I did everything right. So I guess a little bit of context. I was trying to court somebody at the time. So it was like everything was very low key, and this is gonna be important context for later, okay? Do you see? Okay, so we all worked together. I'm working in a restaurant at the time, and it was your classic Romeo and Juliet situation with I'm working in the back of the house. This chick's working in the front of the house.
Yeah, you're from the Capulets. She's a Montague.
I'm a Capulet. I bit my thumb at her manager
At
and
Tybalt?
everything. Yep.
I bite my thumb at you, sir. Sir, do you bite your thumb at me? No, but I bite my thumb.
I bite my thumb at thee. So I don't know. We just hit it off. It's just like, I don't know. There's just some people you just get along with,
Yeah.
for
So,
one
like,
reason or another.
What are the interactions like? Like, when is she seeing you? When are you seeing her? Is she coming back for like food or what's up?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I actually worked. There was a buffet on Sunday and Friday. So Friday is like in the evening. I think we worked breakfast together. So I'm not even gonna mention the Friday one. So it's Sunday. It would be Sunday brunch. Actually, then they actually made it so the breakfast buffet was like every fucking day. So I was out there.
You're on the floor and you're seeing her.
I'm on the floor.
You're getting a
and
lot
yeah,
of
and
eye
we're
time.
like, we're getting a lot of eye time.
Ooh.
So then we just like otherwise yeah, like while I'm setting up, bringing stuff out or whatever, like we just talk. Yeah, and she'd come back, you know, I think she was a host at the time. She wasn't a server, so she just come back like, you know, looking for stuff, and it's like we just talk. And just in the way that like how my conversations go with people I actually want to talk to.
Yeah.
It's like I have this mentality where most people, I call them Gen Pop, like a prison general population, or like
Yeah.
you
wait,
know,
so
like... Go ahead.
Okay, so you're saying, is she a Gen Pop conversation, or is she somebody who's outside of that?
She's not Gen Pop. She's
Okay.
in the inner circle or whatever. Like
So you're having a personal intention with your conversations because there's something special about talking to her that
yes.
puts her out of Gen Pop. You know, maybe she's
Yes.
She's max security. You know, you got your mind trapping her in with your
She's
thoughts and your
trapped.
things you want to talk about.
Yeah, she's in solitary.
She's in solitaire.
So yeah, I mean, well, yeah, well, and the other thing is, she would like seek out to like talk to me. You
That's
know,
what I was
it's not
going to
like I'm
ask
just-
you. Is
It's
that
not like I'm
where
just
were
like
you?
chasing her around and
how much?
trying to make
Yeah. What level
trying
of
to make-
security were you at for her?
what?
What level of
Yes.
security? So there's max. You know, the solitary. That's the highest, right?
Oh,
You know, you
got
got to be
it.
separated. You know, where do you think you were in her mind? Was she seeking
Oh, in
you
her
out?
mind, I think honestly, that's the thing. I was getting vibes where like I think she was singling me out a lot, kind of thing.
Maybe
I was
she was a
pretty
guard.
I was max security. Yeah,
She was taking you to solitary.
Yes, yeah, we were
She
gonna be
was
in solitary
taking you.
together, like in Jokester.
Oh, she's the Harley
Yeah.
Quinn. She's bombing in to
Yeah.
find you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The metaphor is getting very muddled here.
Yeah.
but,
So anyway, she's coming to talk to
but-
you,
and
and
like
you're,
we would
you're
to like
trying.
talk. We just talk all the time.
Mhm.
And oh yeah, something I found. I was just so I found her so interesting was we had and I think I've talked about this before, maybe on the pod, where in restaurants, hotels especially, they have what I call rental workers, where you tell someone from overseas, oh yeah, do you want to have a great opportunity to work and learn in America? And these are like usually college educated people, so like there are people from like China, India, a lot of like oceanic countries, Singapore, Thailand, shit like that, Philippines, that end up coming over and like working as dishwashers and like housekeeping, but they're like college educated people.
So they're really working below their capacity,
Below their, like-
abilities.
Yes. But on the other hand, like they can't speak very good English. Very like me, they can't speak very good English.
Very good English.
So they can't really like. He wants to educate. That's not.
They
you
can't
know,
get that
advocate. They can't
opportunity.
advocate for themselves very
Yeah.
well. So they're like, all right, well, whatever. This is just
They
what
can't
I'm doing.
complain either, right? You know, if they
Yeah.
can't communicate to like, you know, like, could you imagine somebody who barely speaks English complaining to like a Department of Labor? That complaint's going nowhere.
Right. So we had some people from China working in the dish pit, and then sometimes we would have like the cooker staff would have like pretty niche demands or whatever. So then the chick comes in and she's like just starts talking to them in like I want to say Chinese, like Cantonese or
Mandarin.
whatever. Mandarin, thank you. And like I think everyone in that situation was
Turn their head and they're like,
dumbfounded,
"What?"
like what the fuck? Like those people from China were like, holy shit.
And it wasn't, here's how I'm visualizing it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So they're in there, and then there's like some specific thing. We got to give, you know, the dish pit Chinese workers, we got to give them specific instructions. We need these crock pots ASAP. And
Yeah.
she goes back there, and it's not that she's speaking Mandarin, but she's speaking Mandarin in the manner of like a really angry Chinese mom.
Yeah, that's because she knows that's what they're gonna respond well to.
So yeah,
That's what
so
they
it's not
know.
just that she's saying in English translated to Mandarin, but she's saying it also in a tone that they will culturally respond to.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Is this actually, or
it's
am I
like
just
if
it's amazing.
well, I mean, okay, so a
Big
little bit of
if true.
context because we because I would talk to like we her and I would talk all the time. Like she she lived in China. Like I think she had like a study abroad slash more opportunities kind of thing. Like I think she was like a promoter for a club or some. I don't know. She
Oh,
had some
that
wild
is something.
background. But so like she lived in like worked in China for like I don't even know how long, like a couple of years maybe or
I mean, long enough
something.
to be,
Maybe.
comfortably fluent.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Uh so she like would talk to the dishwashers and I just thought that was really interesting. She she really she like trauma dumped on me a lot.
Okay,
Not a
sorry.
lot, but
I don't.
like with a big thing, you know,
Okay,
like I mean
okay. I have to ask
she
one question before that because we're getting away from it, and I want to ask it while the iron is hot. When
okay.
you found this out, learned this, like that she can speak Mandarin,
Yeah.
how erect was your penis?
Um, it was pretty hard, I'll have to say.
Okay.
That's a really cool thing to me. I envy polyglots. I really
Mm-hmm.
think the ability for someone to speak another language like objectively makes them better than someone that doesn't.
No, I thought you were gonna say makes them hotter. That's what I would
Well,
say.
I mean that's a given. That's just a given to me.
True. Yeah.
Um,
See, that's why I
but
haven't learned any other languages. I do not want to become more attractive.
oh, that's fair. That's definitely an approach to life. I definitely don't try to be attractive either.
I want to be as
As
undesirable as
unattractive.
possible.
Yeah.
I barely
Well,
speak English,
that's good. Yeah, I
according
think
to
you
South
speak it a
Americans
little
on data.
you speak it a little better than most that I've spoken to, but that's that's not a very high bar either. So,
True. So,
um
so she trauma dumped on you?
yeah,
Was this at
she
work?
told yeah.
Oh shit.
Dude, you get it. Well, like I said, I get into shit. You know, like
Yeah.
people that resonate with me really open up to me. I just create that space, I guess. But yeah, cause she dropped it on me one day. Like we were like just there talking about whatever, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, well oh yeah," cause she said that she watched the Rocket Man movie, the biopic for Elton John,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and Elton John like pretty much like tries committing Sudoku
Okay.
in it, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I felt that because I did that.
Oh,
I took a bunch of pills and I fucking almost died."
wow.
Um,
Did she give like a time frame when this happened, or?
I think it was like it wasn't recent, but it wasn't very long far away either.
Oh, so like maybe
You
last two
know,
years or something kind of
or
feeling.
something like that. Yeah. Um, and she was very cute. But so
Wait, did you say?
meanwhile,
Sorry, my thing was quiet. Did you say she was very cute?
she's very cute. She's very cute to
So
boot.
where'd the conversation go then?
Um, I don't know. I just kind of, and again, because when people go in that direction, it's like, oh well, kind of like Bane in Batman. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're in my territory now. Like, you're in my realm. If you're talking about
No, we're
having mental
born in the
health like
darkness.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, now we're in my field. I'm like, I can commiserate with that all day. Um, I was a very depressed child growing up, man. It got so dark. But so like we just kind of talked about that for a little bit, and then
Like,
yeah, I
okay,
just
I have a question about that. Did it get to the why, or was it just the oh, I also experienced this?
what do you mean?
Well, like I mean,
Like
people
me?
have a reason why they want to end their lives. So did he get that far, or was it just kind of like, oh yeah, like I feel like doing that. Oh yeah, I used to be pretty miserable too. I
With her or with me?
either of you when you were talking to her.
I feel like I forget what she might have given me a reason. I don't know if I quite remember.
Maybe
And
she
for
said
me,
it
I
in
mean,
Chinese.
she probably said in Mandarin, and I just was not fluent at the time. Nor am I now.
Like, no.
Okay, thank you. I thought that was actually kind of funny. It was the very British humor there, but so it just after that, like, it just felt like we were like really close in some way, but it just always felt very flirty, like a
Mm.
lot of eye contact, a lot of she's like, seeking me out, wants to make conversation.
Do you ever come and like tell, like something happens, she comes and tells you?
Yes.
That's a big one to me, I think, you know?
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, yeah,
Something happens and
totally.
it's like, who do you go and tell? Is like a big
Right.
show of like, one, who
Yeah.
matters to you,
Yeah.
but also like,
Who's we're
you know,
sharing things to, when it's like someone
yeah,
you want to
like,
share stuff with.
yeah.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, I'm like, while this is happening, and like I'm, I'm not like, I'm not actively, trying to make this a thing, because at the same time, I am like low key courting someone. I was pursuing someone for a time actually, and then
Someone
like they
else.
finally, what? A different girl, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
And are
and
they
then
at the job too, or is that
they're at the job
outside?
too. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
this
it
is
gets
it's so
messy.
it's real messy. Yeah,
Okay.
it would, it really, if one wasn't at the job, I think it wouldn't have been as messy.
Mm.
But at the same time, it's like it's like kind of
Then you're not
dirtier
working in
than
the kitchen though
two.
if it ain't messy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're gonna get, yeah, like in every context of that phrase,
Yeah.
it's always messy.
I mean, I know that's why I said it, but
I know,
I
I
mean,
know,
I've been
I know.
trying. I've been
I'm saying for the
Yeah.
the
No, you get it
audience,
too.
really, like,
Yeah. For those of you
yeah.
who haven't worked in a kitchen, it's not just physical mess.
It's a cesspool.
It's an emotional mess. It's a psychological mess.
It makes you a mess.
It makes you a mess. I would say I've been trying to ask questions to kind of like head off, like maybe Fontleroy did do everything right, you know? Like how could you be blamed? Look what the signals you were getting. So now I feel like we're getting into something where it's gonna be then they indicted him.
See, now we're getting into the indictable offenses.
Okay.
So like a little bit of context with that, like, just for whatever reason, well, I mean, for very specific reasons, we were like very low key. Like, the girl that I was pursuing and we were very low key about our situation. I think she it was definitely a thing of where, like, she kind of acquiesced to me wanting to be with her, as opposed to like her actively wanting to be with me, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But
So
then I think, go ahead.
she kind of like neutral at work, kind of like maybe you talked to like did you message online or like
Yeah, we talked. I mean, we
Mhm.
talked. Well, as the other thing, we talked a lot. We talked daily. We talked a
At work
lot.
too?
Like, we
You talked to
texted,
both of them at work?
like outside of work.
Oh, okay.
Both of them. I want to say I did. I think I was more the pursuant when it came to talking outside of work with
Mhm.
China Girl.
Oh, okay. So you talked with both of them outside of work too.
I have to think now, because it's been so long, and I mean, yes.
Okay. Well, but also, so this other girl, what was her job at the?
She was like a basically like kind of, I keep want to say cook, but it's like prep. She's like a prep cook.
Oh, okay. So
She's
she's like
she did
just
prep.
in
She was in the
the
kitchen.
most hidden place of the kitchen, probably.
Yeah, she was in the kitchen. I mean, not really hidden, but
Yeah. I mean, all the prep places
in the way that
in
it.
the one kitchen that I've been in, it's like behind a wall.
I mean, there is a prep area that's behind the wall, but like, it's in the way that that kitchen worked. It was like, if you gotta find space anywhere. It's not
Yeah.
like there's no designated. But
So
I
there,
get what you're saying.
so you
Um,
so there's not really that many opportunities where she is seeing you and this other girl interacting to get any kind of
yeah.
suspicions. Then
Yes.
you're kind of inadvertently saved from that.
Yes. Yeah, cause I have free reign because I'm working the buffet and stuff.
You
and,
can
like, setting
go.
up
You
and
can go
everything.
anywhere.
I can go anywhere, and just being the person that I am, I kind of go anywhere anyways. So.
And you have the pass.
And I have so many passes in my life. I've had so many passes, and some of them are transferable.
Okay, so beginning with the indictable offenses, I want to ask
Okay.
you,
Yep.
does this dynamic where you can go to her and you can talk to the girl out in the front of the house, does that play into your mind at all in terms of like, wow, I'm really getting away with it here?
No, see, that's the thing. Like, throughout all of this situation, I'm never being actively manipulative or schemy. I'm not scheming at all.
You're not Machiavellian, you're not playing with perception,
Yeah.
you're not dark triad, anything.
No, hand on a Bible, I will say that because the whole time it's just that I'm like, it's okay. It's almost it's almost like sunk cost kind of, where it's like, I've been trying to get with, so we'll say girl A is the chick that I was like kind of seeing, and then girl B is China girl, right? So it's like I've tried for so long to get with like girl A, and now I kind of have girl A, kinda. And then girl B shows up, and it's like girl B is a great choice. Girl B is like top tier.
But she isn't what we've been harvesting. We gotta sow.
Yeah.
You haven't sown
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
Reap sow.
Yes.
You know.
So then I kind of have like I have my feet in two boats, going in kind of.
And the boats are going to different waterfalls.
They're
You get spread
yeah,
apart.
pretty much.
There's a big rock in
They were
between them. You're
kinda
gonna hit your balls.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened.
You know, I got a good defense for you though with what you're saying is that remember Fauntleroy's tombstone. He was really stupid. He couldn't engage in a level of subterfuge or deceit if it depended on his life.
If I tried.
Okay? Yeah. He's not Barley. He's not a master manipulator. Okay?
He's just a simple idiot.
You know, somebody once told me that I was engaging in male manipulator tactics. And I do not agree with what that person said. And that really hurt me.
And they're not totally correct on that one, I don't think, but
yeah. Oh, you know what I'm referencing.
I think so. Oh yeah. Oh, doll. Yeah.
Yeah. You know that person is definitely not correct in that situation.
Got it.
I have engaged. I will admit openly that I have engaged in levels of manipulation all the time in my life. But
right.
I don't do anything bad. It's not bad. You know, nobody's ever been hurt.
Yeah. Well.
Except maybe one time, I guess. You know, at the end of the day, the way I look at it, if I'm the person who's hurt the most by it, then I am paying the penitence that I owe the world, I suppose.
Okay, right. Or this to you, maybe.
If I have to suffer the most for my actions, then it's kind of okay.
It's very, very fast acting karma. Just like I said at the Baby Metal concert, like I've accrued so much positive karma.
That you can cash it in and sneak up in line.
Apparently, in front of the guy that I asked if that was the line, which I think is so. I did not even know.
Oh yeah, it goes back that way. Yeah.
That is so fucking.
Oh, okay,
funny.
Yeah. We just walk right in. I was surprised the guy in front of us. That guy was the perfect like idiocracy random citizen number 35 because he didn't even look back at us to ever see that like those guys that asked where the line was literally just queued up right behind me.
Yeah.
I think the guy was legit staring at the ceiling. Like legitimately, that guy could have been an extra in Idiocracy.
Just drooling. Okay, so I guess that kind of sets the stage, right? So then where things kind of come to a head is another thing I think is important to note is apparently girl B has a boyfriend.
Oh, China's girl?
Yeah, China girl has a boyfriend.
Holy shit, that changes everything.
It does change a lot, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew at the time. Maybe I did. Maybe okay, actually I think that's where I was. And again, part part stupid, part like literally I'm stupid, and part like I don't know if naive is the right way of putting it, or and denial I guess is probably a good way of putting it. Like I'm
Like
like,
you
okay,
didn't
she has a
want to
boyfriend.
believe somebody would do something disingenuous as what she was doing then is like
Kind of
kind of
doing.
pursuing
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
while having something else.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one. If that's naive, then sign me up because I will
Yeah.
die I will make that same mistake. I'm gonna walk into that rake every fucking day.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
just like Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm in the backyard. I'm walking in that rake every fucking day because I try to believe. I want to believe in a world where somebody's intentions and their behaviors are in parity with each other.
Where people are like genuine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah,
I'm
that
the
would be
most,
cool.
despite the level of deceit that I report, that I engage in, I am also
Uh-huh.
a very open and direct and honest person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you just ask, I will answer.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Yeah, 100%,
So, of
1000%.
1000%. So, so yeah, I guess that was kind of where I was, where it's like, and maybe that was like a justification in my mind to be like, oh, this is okay. Like that I'm kind of like I'm low key two timing right now, even though we're not like doing anything like, but we're
Everything's
just
too
like at
ambiguous that you haven't defined the relationship, with
with
girl
A.
A
Yeah.
to create, an expectation of like strict
Mm-hmm.
monogamy. And it's not necessarily, from what you're saying, that even with China Girl, that you are intentionally engaging in some kind of like, also flirtatious pursuit. You're simply responding to
Yes.
attention.
It's just yeah, and it's like yeah. I mean, I on a polygraph, like I'd be lying if I said I wasn't like interested or attracted, but it's like there's. I mean, I guess the logical answer, I guess, a way of putting it would just be like to not engage with her, right? Like oh yeah, I got enough on my plate. I don't need to get more. I don't need to grab another steak. Like I have enough already, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, I think
But
that, okay, how old were you when this was going on?
mid to late 20s.
Okay, yeah. Well, I
So
guess what I
I'm
would say
not
is
like
like,
a
you
I'm
can
not a
have,
youngster.
it's possible to have good relationships with people, even that you do find attractive.
Oh,
You
definitely. And I
know?
think that's what I was kind of playing around with
Yeah, you're
or
testing out,
experimenting with or
that
whatever.
kind of
Like,
like, oh, maybe I can do this. It's okay,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I mean, I'm 33 now, and it's like I'm just coming to that realization. I used to be like in the R store camp of like, you know, not so far of like incel thinking where it's like men and women can't be friends kind of thing, but it's like if if you're attracted to someone, like it's like it's on, you know. No, that's not the right way of putting it. Like,
Sorry, I had to write down your quote because I'm gonna put that as the title of the video.
what was it?
I'm 33 now and I'm just coming. That was incredible. I
That's
mean,
funny.
I don't
Just
know.
like
Yeah, I
Mr.
used to ascribe
Sanctuary.
to a very strong, like, kind of like, well, okay. I kind of like what you're saying is like, oh yeah, like maybe men and women can't be friends, maybe they can be friends, whatever the fuck kind of thing, go back and
Mm-hmm.
forth. But like, obviously, if both people are heterosexual and they are attracted to each other, then you're just kind of deluding yourselves, right?
Right. Yes.
But so like, for myself, I would generally, if I'm in a relationship, I generally ascribe to a code of ethics where it's like, do not befriend. It's like you can
Yeah.
fail any one of these,
Yeah.
but you can't fail all of them.
Yep.
Yeah, or you can't fail two. And I often forget what the third one is. But generally, it's like you should not befriend somebody that you find attractive. Okay, maybe you fail that one, but you can't do the second one, which is you should not talk negatively about your relationship
Oh,
because
definitely.
it sends the
Yeah.
wrong message.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's fine. I think it's okay for people to befriend people that they find attractive. If you can keep that in check. But then taking that step of like, oh, now I'm sending you the signal of like, oh, I'm unhappy with my relationship,
Right.
you know, and then telling that person about it sends a completely different message.
Yeah.
That if you are doing it, you know, then you need to be, I think, ready to take that to the next step of like,
Right.
what the
Next
implication is.
logical, yeah.
The logical conclusion, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another one too, which is like, oh fuck, I don't remember. I have to go look back at my chat logs, which I cannot control F to search through. Maybe I can. So
It's probably like sniffing their farts or something, I'd imagine. Like, don't sniff their farts, you're gonna be
yeah,
instantly
I think the
locked
last
in.
thing I would usually, is if you're gonna do anything, don't sniff farts because people don't like that. I don't like that either. I'm not a fart sniffer.
See,
I'm a
that's
fart.
something
I hear the farts and I laugh at them.
That's something I'm pretty. Yeah, it was with you. I think I think about this like more often than I should, but I always think it's funny how I think I made a mention of like, you know, you like because you like fart humor, and it's like I made a joke about the smell, and you're like, that's disgusting. The smell isn't the funny part. It's just the sound, and I just think that is the. I mean, I get it makes total sense, but it's just the funny dichotomy. Of like, no, the sound is that's the only funny part. The part that is stinky isn't funny at all. In fact, it's deplorable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, that's totally it. Though. Like, I try to tell people that as much as possible. I'm not in a fetishistic way. I don't like the smell. It's the sound. It's the genuine farts are funny. Not Hollywood movie farts, because they always get like the most boring canned farts ever. I'm talking king ass ripper tier farts.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, when I lay down and I go horizontal, what comes out of me? It opens eyes.
I lay down and go horizontal.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just makes because it's like all the gases are like going up into my body, and then I lay down, then they can finally they can go out. You know.
I mean, the sound of a fart is just the ass cheeks flapping.
Exactly, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because like to take it to like a further, like a deeper, I don't even know. This is so like dumb, but like
we're in the weeds.
We're in the weeds about fart humor. But the reason I find it funny, and the thing that I always kind of go back to, I haven't talked about this in like.
The thing I go back to.
Would you say you tricked me?
What?
I thought you said you tricked me into talking about farts.
No, I laughed at the fact that you said the thing I go back to. Like this is like it's like a recurring.
But this is.
Yeah.
I haven't gone down this in so long, but it's like. Yeah. I find very funny about humans, they take themselves so seriously. And at the end of the day, we all shit, we all fart, we all piss, we all have disgusting and hilarious things about us that should be humbling and should cause people to have humility. But when we look around at the world, we see people who take themselves far too seriously, have far too much ego and confidence and bullshit. I mean, Trump's probably wearing fucking diapers, right? And he presents himself as he's this fucking like amazing person. And people in the conservative, space eat that shit up.
Yeah.
So like I like farts as a mechanism that brings humility back to humanity.
Ooh.
And while I was doing that, I actually did find the rest of the last prong of my 3-prong system.
Thank God.
Yeah, so 1, never befriend somebody that you find attractive. Okay, you can fail that. Never talk badly about a relationship that you're in, because it sends the wrong message. And the last one is never share who you really are. And that sounds kind of weird, but this is in the context of this particular person, right? So, basically don't share who you really are. Just, be like pleasant. Just be kind of like a neutral person. And then if they end up liking, I guess this is about me, right? So I should talk about it as from first person. It's like, I don't overshare about myself. I'm just like, I just do my shit, neutral to pleasant kind of person. And if somebody likes me, then that's on them. But I haven't done anything to instill anything to create those feelings from my direction towards them.
You haven't like endeared yourself or like. Yeah, I guess endearing is the word I would use.
Yeah, like if somebody, fine. I say it in that way because when I worked at the inpatient unit, there were definitely some people who, at least one girl I think about, who was a bit probably into me, and I didn't do anything to build on that at all. All I was just a competent, good worker, just be helpful, just be myself, and honestly
Yeah.
incredibly reserved, and other people would call me like strict. It's kind of funny, like when I was in the work setting here, kind of the perception that people had of me relative to like what probably most people think about me.
Right.
But it's just like I'm not here to be doing anything else. I mean, I would be, fun with other people, but I very quickly kind of
But you have a job to
switch.
do.
Yeah, right. I want to, I take myself kind of seriously in that regard. But there was somebody who, even despite all that, obviously was kind of had some kind of attraction there. But luckily they were leaving, so it didn't get any worse.
That's good.
So
Oh, so
yeah,
okay, yeah. So um kind of like I'm kind of talking about at the same time. Then one day, China girl, and see, this is why again I'm putting on blinders, I guess, or just straight up a blindfold.
it's a blindfold.
Cause China girl one day asked me to like go on a walk with her to the lighthouse.
Mm.
Why? I honestly don't know how this came up, like how this came
Just
about.
like, how casual was this of an ask? Like, oh, hey, do you want to go to the lighthouse with me?
So, it had to be something like that, cause like I am just, cause like not like I'm talking about it. It's just like,
It sounds
why did that even
so
happen to
peculiar.
begin with? What?
Like nobody's just like, oh, I'm thinking about going to the lighthouse. Do you want to come with me?
Literally, right?
Yeah. Like you really not even blinders, blindfold. So Fontleroy has the blindfold on.
Had the
He's getting
blindfold
led
on.
out to the woods. He might get killed.
Hopefully.
What
Should
happens?
push me off the pier.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I pick her up, we go walk to the lighthouse, and I guess it's like I don't know if she's ever even mentioned her boyfriend to me, kind of thing, But
Yet.
I have her on Facebook, so like I've seen a picture of them together.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and I guess the thing is like, she's one of those people that it was just so natural to talk to, so we could just sit there and we just talked forever. I mean, it was basically a date without saying it was a date, like it could have let's just say it could have ended like a date. So we just like we walked over to the pier. Yeah, the pier is like the end of like where the lighthouse would be, right? Yeah. We walked like up to the lighthouse, just sat and talked for like a long time. She shared more shit about she was a cutter stuff, and she had a bit of mental health. Not, I mean, it was kind of like mine, like not horrible, like not terrible, terribly obstructive.
Being bad enough to leave a scar, but not horrible
Like
enough to make it so unfunctional.
Yes,
Yeah,
so for literal scars.
Yeah. No, I chose my words carefully.
I know you did.
Yeah, I mean that's where you find the really the really messy people, I would say, where it's like, oh, maybe you're struggling like me, maybe that you understand how hard life can be, and that creates a special kind of a connection or even attachment. But then the real mental illness comes out when they do something crazy.
Right.
That's just like, shit, I wouldn't do this. Like, I thought we were the same, but holy fuck, you got something crazy going on.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious what that would have been with her. But yeah, it was funny, like as we were walking back, she said she made a comment cuz I was talking about something about like how do I even like how do I make it make sense? Basically,
like if things were different kind of thing, or
no. Well, because I said something about like I hate situations where like I don't know if I'm imposing or something, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like I don't know if I'm like imposing. Like she
I
says
mean,
something similar.
I'm getting the sense that like,
She was trying to get me to say more about like the dynamic, I guess.
yeah, about
You
kind of
know.
you're having, you're saying. I mean, I can see why this was like difficult for you. If you don't engage in, you know, levels of subterfuge or that kind of like conversations about conversations.
Yeah.
This is an impossible conversation to have because you're basically having a meta conversation about, oh, I don't really know if I feel like I'm imposing, like,
Yep.
they're asking for reassurance. I'm like, oh no, you're not
Yeah.
imposing, like,
On
I'm
this
really
on
down
what's
for
going
anything.
on.
Like, I
Yeah.
like being surprised, like
Yeah.
leaving the door open for like, yeah, just jump on me and start like riding my dick right here,
100%.
you know,
1000%.
100%,
And the thing is like,
1000%.
and it's like I'm not, cause I'm not. I mean, despite my tombstone, I'm not like that stupid. Like I can pick up
He's not regarded, folks,
on the
okay?
fact that it's. I can pick up on the fact that it was the meta conversation, but I'm like, I don't know where like, I don't know where we're at. I can't do this right now.
Look, Fontleroy can handle a conversation with me. He's not that regarded.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
okay, so I want to. So there's two
probably.
things. One, I
Yeah.
want to ask. Did anything happen on this lighthouse
Quasi-date.
walk?
Um,
Like a kiss, hug, that kind of thing.
no,
Okay,
and
so
that's what I'm saying. That's
okay, so
that's what
nothing
I'm saying.
happened there.
It could have
What?
ended as a. I mean, we weren't even because there were many opportunities where like we could have been very physical.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I again, and it's like, well, it's just the kind of person I am. I'm a very physical person, but like
Yeah, off
because I
camera, Fauntleroy, I just got all over me constantly. I couldn't believe it.
it was we were drinking and it just
One thing happened,
couldn't
led to
hold it
another.
anymore.
He had to hold me down at one point.
It was a new year. It was a new me.
New year, new me. New mail has arrived.
I'm a new male. Numail. New male.
So, but also, I mean, I want to, like you have another thing going on. So, are you held back in any way by the other thing going on?
100. That was the only thing holding me back.
Okay, that's because I wanted to get to the intention part. Is like, what?
I would.
Are you gonna jump at this? What's up?
And like that's the kind of funny thing. Well, because I mean, I probably haven't talked about it on the podcast, but like I have a very sordid history when it comes to like cheating and adultery. I mean, just with my own personal relationships, I've been cheated on by many of my ex-girlfriends, and this is like the reason my parents got divorced is my father took the coward's way out. So like I have this like pretty strict like kind of code of ethics or morality when it comes to
You don't want to turn
that.
around and do that to the world.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to continue the cycle. So and it's just like it's everyone. Well, I mean, I saw how easy it is to fall into it, but so like so on one hand, if I personally wasn't in a relationship, I think I would have, even if I knew that she had a boyfriend.
If you were single, but you knew she had a boy. Oh yeah, in that instance, it's kind of like, I think
It's on
less of the
her, but
morality
it's still
is really
shitty.
kind of on you. Sorry, what did you just say?
Well, it's like it would be on her.
Yeah,
but
totally.
it's still shitty.
I mean, I was
you
because
know?
I was in a situation where I was the other guy in high school, and I didn't even know until
Oh,
afterwards.
yeah.
It was like, oh fuck.
That sucks. And I guess like that's the thing. That's the other thing. The whole time I did have that plausible deniability because nothing was stated specifically. But it's like
Yeah, you don't know how old
having
those
the burden
pictures
of
are.
knowledge.
Maybe she just didn't delete them. Maybe she doesn't go on Facebook. Then what? All this bullshit, right?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they're on the outs. Maybe they were like about to break up and just didn't make it public or something. Like there's a bajillion circumstances that could have been happening.
Yeah. So you kind of walk away from this, lighthouse date, and then where does that the end of it? Where do things go from that?
So then after that, I think then China Girl kind of got the message of like, okay, well, he's either not into me or gay.
Yeah, he didn't just like take me into the bushes at the beach, rip my clothes off, and just
Fuck me.
cream pie me right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I would have.
that's if I was a woman, that would be the message that I would be receiving if you didn't do that
Which-
to me after the lighthouse date.
Oh, absolutely. It was a great date. I mean, it was really cute. We had very like deep conversations, and like with us, like the conversations just were very fluid. So and like I said, if I was single, I would have definitely taken her into the bushes and cream pied her. So
Yep. As you would as a heterosexual male, that
As
is
one-
your responsibility.
yeah, I need to perpetuate this godforsaken race that we are all part of.
I mean, she could be on I was about to say on substances. She could be on birth control.
Oh yeah, yeah. She
She's
could be on
on
substances on a specific substance that would prevent you from getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that formed?
Despite they have puss puss. So yeah. So she kind of backed off a little bit, but then I think we still talked and everything, but it wasn't as like kind of as heavy as it was.
Heavy,
let's
wasn't as
say.
intentional. Maybe she isn't coming by
Yeah.
as much. If she is,
Yeah.
maybe the effort isn't as there.
Right. Totally. So then now pan over to girl A who cuz I was being kind of like I guess shady is the way of putting it, a little distant or whatever, like she wanted to the pattern wasn't there, I guess, cuz like, it would be like, I go home, we talk or whatever, and it's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm busy," kind of thing. And then it's obsessive chick behavior, obsessive person. I shouldn't make it gender.
Oh, so
Obsessive
you didn't
person
really have a good
behavior.
explanation of why you weren't available at the
Yeah.
time when you went on the lighthouse
Yeah.
date thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I
So-
wasn't open and honest about that. So then that became like a breach of trust. And then that became once the truth came out, it's the classic case of, well, now what else don't I know kind of thing.
And then that just forever marred.
Forever.
How
We
long?
dated for like a year, maybe 2 years. We
Felt
dated
like
we dated
5,
for a
didn't it?
long time. Like, I don't know, it's kind of a long time, I guess. Yeah, I guess like a year or two is like.
I mean, it depends on the nature of the relationship. It can feel like a long time. Like sometimes a relationship can be only a month and a half.
Yeah,
And
and
it
it
can
can feel like
feel-
a small eternity.
It can, yeah, and it can feel like a lifetime.
Yeah, yeah.
I really like all the fucking references we're
the
dropping here.
parallels. Yeah.
I don't know if I can ever tell that story on the fucking podcast.
I mean, don't say never, but I mean, it's fucking something.
Maybe, yeah,
But,
I don't know. I'd have to talk
well,
to.
I
I'd
mean, I
have to
just-
talk to a friend of the show.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think it would be way down the road to even like begin to get
the
into
timing
that
isn't very good.
here. Yeah, but oh yeah. So it would, like you said, it marred the relationship because then it was just a matter of and it was kind of brought up. It was kind of used as like a tool where it would be like, oh, or like an excuse for behavior sometimes. It would be like, oh
to
yeah,
excuse
well,
her like inappropriate relationship behaviors.
yeah,
When she is like maybe she's being too controlling,
she's being a piece of
too
shit.
manipulative, too demanding. It's like, well,
Yeah.
because of this, I'm this
Yeah.
way.
Because this thing that you will just never be able to make up for, apparently.
And you
that
never even
happened.
did
That I never even
the
did.
actual cheating.
Yes,
That's the worst
and
part.
that was the thing that just sucked the most about it, and that's why when Trump says I did everything right and they indicted me, I feel it in my soul.
You feel
Like
it.
I know he's being disingenuine, but on
But the
my
words
end, it's like
mean the same. They're earnest
Yeah.
to you.
yes,
You know, I got
'Cause
as far
did-
as just to see what it was with the other person, but
Yeah.
you didn't commit.
I didn't. The only. I mean, like, I guess someone could try to make the argument of it being like emotional cheating, but it's. I would even argue that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on given, emotional cheating, I feel like there's like a level of intentionality there. And it sounds like you said, were a bit, blinders, blindfold, gullible, naive, and also just like, oh, like, if I vibe with somebody, I'm gonna go with that,
Yeah.
and then just kind of like, oh, okay, whoops, like, if you're not going to do anything, let's see this, let's put you in the thing, maybe if there's anything to blame, if she's like lands one on you, what are you doing?
Like tries to go in for a kiss or something.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you think you're going to be able to
hard.
be yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I know. I'm really like, cause I'm trying to approach it in like in the most honest way. I feel like it would be very awkward, cause I feel like I would really want to, but I would probably still turn her down.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. It depends on how surprising, I guess.
Maybe let a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe you're like a little bit reciprocal, but then kind of like, oh,
No, we can't.
Sorry,
I mean, it would be.
This is wrong, kind of thing.
It would be like a Hallmark movie. Yeah, it would be like a movie moment of like, give in a little bit and then be like, no, we can't do this, and then the dramatic music starts playing and.
But maybe we can.
But maybe we absolutely should. Let's get
go
in
in
my
the bushes
trunk.
over there.
Let's get in my trunk where
Did
I
you get the tearaway clothes? I'm gonna tear them off right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope I hope these aren't your favorite clothes. I'm gonna rip them off right now.
They're coming right off.
I hope you brought something else to wear, because you're not gonna have anything after this.
You can use my shirt. Yeah, I guess I don't know. If she came on to me.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. It sounds like what's kind of happened is that
she was coming
like,
on to
trying
me, and
to
then she wanted me to
like, I just like, oh, like how, like I don't know how imposing I'm being, or how imposing do you feel like being? Oh, I'm pretty uncomfortable with anything.
Totally.
Like she's trying to psyop into your mind.
Literally.
Come and take me in the bushes.
Like dude, I'm not kidding. I really wish like you could like go in my mind and just replay that
experience your memories.
Date. Yeah, just replay the date, and it would be nice for me even to have context to just rewatch and be like, what actually happened here.
Now, when you're saying this, is this also an era where you were smoking daily?
Oh, dude, throughout my 20s.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because it's like that also is like gonna fuck up your ability to remember things.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, for the record, I haven't smoked in like, I want to say like, it's gonna be sad to be like proud of like a couple months.
A couple months? I was thinking you were gonna say maybe a couple years, but whatever, it's okay.
No, dude, it's been a problem most of my adult life.
What do you mean? So. POV, you just asked a stoner why is it not addictive if they have to smoke every day?
If it's not addictive, yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, how do you define addiction at that point, right? Because like,
I mean, if it's something you have to rely on, then like if it's replacing something else, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've heard it's like, it's like it's not what you do with it; it's what you don't do with it.
Yeah. What is it taking away from your life, or what is it, dealing with in your life? Like, are you using it purely for joy? Like when I get blackout drunk to record a video that is all the footage is unusable, and I spend the rest of the day like dying and sobbing, and I spend like 4 hours in the bathroom, and friend of the podcast has to like literally hold my hair back, and my makeup is running because of the fucking video, and that is fun for me. That wasn't addiction. I mean, I don't actually have an alcohol addiction. I'm just joking. Like I drink maybe like twice a month.
Right.
But that's like a kind of thing where it's like, if I had to be doing that to unlock something or deal with something, I think the thing that always saved me from like substances, and I think, did I talk about this? I talked about maybe in the last podcast, or we just talked about it, whatever. But like, I already had so many things going on. I wasn't about to like add in alcohol. Like I wanted to feel bad.
Right.
I never wanted to not feel bad. To not feel bad to me felt like I was not being honest to myself. And that was always the most important thing. It was that, like, whatever is making me feel bad, I want to experience that as awful and as painful as it is, because anything else is, I'm just lying to myself. Like, I want to shove there's a quote from God Emperor Dune where he's like, you know, I want to shove people's faces into things that make them uncomfortable, because how else do people betray themselves into mediocrity? And that's something I live by, but isn't very healthy. I would say I've changed that slightly.
Yeah.
Because you need to change to live in life, and that is not a way to live.
I don't, to each their own, I suppose.
So, you almost got there, and then you got punished for it anyway. He did everything right, and they indicted him.
I did everything right, and they indicted me throughout the
believe it.
entire relationship. Yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. I just thought that was an interesting little snippet in my life.
Oh yeah.
And I like to hear people's feedback on it, because it's not something you can just, you know, casually tell someone like at work or whatever, right? Like,
yeah, it's a little too long.
Yeah, I mean, that's all my stories. All my stories are way too long. So.
I mean, it's a little too long, and it's also like, requires too much continuous information, where like, you know, like sustained attention kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
You know, where like you can't have like, okay, a 5-minute conversation here about a 5-minute conversation here about a 5-minute conversation here about, you know, it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, I don't even fucking remember. I have to fucking take a huge shit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the pod's getting a little long.
Oh, it's
anyways,
definitely,
so.
This is like 50 minutes, and the other one is like already 40 minutes, which is fine. This is a little scuffed because I had to swap over to being on my mic and the speakers, so I think the sound looks good. The sound levels in OBS look fine. I don't know how it's actually going to sound on the recording. I pray to God it's fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, so I guess this is us, and then you know what kind of day should they have?
Oh my God! If only you guys could remember for once in your godforsaken lives.
What is it? What kind of, like a day?
A Fontleroy day. And not a Fontleroy day. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
That guy's a piece of shit. That guy would have cream pied her no matter how many boyfriends she had.
Yeah, if she had 5 boyfriends and she was betrothed to 5 other men from 5 other countries, and he was in a relationship that he pledged his a death,
undying
love and a death curse that if he ever cheats, he would have
deathed.
ripped her clothes off and cream pied her on the beach.
On the spot.
On the spot.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen, he would have brought her back to where girl A was, and
where
then
girl
done it there.
A was.
And he would have goaded girl A. He would have taunted her and been like, "Why can't you speak Mandarin like her?
Why can't you be cool like this?"
Yeah,
broad.
Exactly.
And he was a blatant misogynist.
And that's the kind of day we want you to have.
And that's the kind of day we don't want you to have. We want you to have the opposite kind of day.
Don't get cream pied by Fontleroy, okay?
Good people like Fontleroy.
Yeah.
Who is a good person. He did everything right.
He did everything right. And girl A indicted him anyway.
Really indicted me.